I wouldn't buy the AMG GTR. That is for babies. Men buy the AMG GTR Pro. The difference? Just a little more race car-like. I don't know how that is even possible, but okay. But today we are here to talk about the future of Mercedes, and like most car companies today, that future looks electric. Of course, when I say electric cars, Tesla always pops in my head as the most successful electric car company and the biggest car brand in the world. But what if I tell you that Mercedes were already making electric cars in the year 1906? Yep, you heard me right, 1906. More than 110 years ago, the combustion engine wasn't even that good or efficient, and Mercedes-Benz was already making electric cars. Well, technically it was a hybrid, but this is 1906 we're talking about. But the 1906 Mercedes Mixta could also run in a fully electric mode. A series hybrid, the Mixta incorporated a gasoline engine and a dynamo to generate electricity for two rear-wheel hub motors. The engine developed 30 to 55 horsepower, generating enough energy to drive the vehicle on electric power alone. This is some Elon Lizard time machine thing. How did they have the technology? Such geniuses. The Mixta was also turned into a race car in 1907 with a reported top speed of 75 miles an hour. I just want to state again, this is 1906, guys. 1906. 88 years before Justin Bieber was born. Regular Mixta models apparently were used in cities as taxis, basically what the government wants to do now with a renewed push for electric and range-extended taxis in today's cities. As we all know, history repeats itself. I just hope Fiat doesn't remake the Fiat Multipla because we can all agree that it is some part of history nobody wants to relive. Over the years, Daimler, the parent company of Mercedes, continued to mess around with hybrid and electric cars, but nothing that would reach a big production, maybe because the technology was too expensive or other unknown reasons. But in 2007, they built 100 smart EDs and they were only available in the United Kingdom. The second generation, the Smart ED2, was launched in 18 markets and initially was planned to build 1,000 vehicles. But as demand exceeded the company's expectations, more than 2,000 smart Fortwo electric drive cars were produced. With all those golf carts, smart cars, they managed to improve technology. Do you know something that can actually improve your life? Financially, to be more specific? Honey. No, not the food, but the browser extension. Honey is the best browser extension that helps you save money on more than 30,000 websites like Amazon, eBay, Shopify, and many more. Use Honey's automatic coupon code adder and save money. The link is in the description. You see, we give you the best car videos and we also give you the tips to save money. And with that said, feel free to leave a like and subscribe to our channel while you're at it. Getting back to Mercedes. As the technology evolved, they started to make more plug-in hybrid vehicles. In 2015, Mercedes came out with 3 plug-in hybrids using existing platforms like the C-Class for the C350e sedan and 2 more as SUVs, the GLC 350e and the GLE 550e. This is the start of electrification for Mercedes, as saving the polar bears, and everyone else, became more and more important. Brands like Mercedes need to seek out electrification. These cars were the foundation for what comes next that is fully electric. These plug-in hybrids were quite a success considering the price, and they provided good power and really good gas mileage, and of course, people love good gas mileage. That's why the Toyota Prius is so popular. Ew. At least we don't need to have Honda Civics to save the world. I would take a Toyota Prius over a riced-out fart cannon lawnmower made by Honda any day. But that's just me. The first model was previewed at the Paris Motor Show in 2016 with the Generation EQ concept vehicle. It was an SUV concept and it displayed the brand's vision. At the launch, they also stated that by 2025, they want that the EQ line to represent between 15 and 25% of the company's global sales. That, in actual cars sold per year, is between 360,000 and 600,000 cars that will be sold as a fully electric Mercedes-Benz. But it wasn't until 2019 that we finally got a fully electric production vehicle from the Mercedes EQ family. They should have called it Black Lightning. Get it? The superhero, the EQC, the production version of the Generation EQ concept, is the first EQ model. It is a compact sport utility vehicle. It has 2 electric motors, one on the front axle and one on the rear axle. The all-wheel drive system has a total power output of 402 horsepower, and the floor-mounted batteries have a crazy 260-mile range. Definitely not a Tesla, but at least Mercedes has a good quality control, and you don't need to worry about panel gaps in a brand new car. Oh, shots fired! Pew pew pew! Unfortunately, it doesn't have the free driving assist that the GLE line has. This is also known as the gangster bounce control because it feels like a lowrider. But I think in future EQ models we will have this option. You know, to have some gangster moves, but also saving the polar bears at the same time, for me, that's the goal. Looking good and saving the planet. Ah, so good. In 2020, we got to see the continuation of the EQ family, the EQV. It's a van, like vans off the wall. Okay, maybe not like that, but you get the point. The EQV is based on the V-Class and shares the same wheelbase dimensions. It is an up to 8-seater vehicle and has up to 1,020 liters of cargo space. That's like the size of a swimming pool. That's actually a good idea. A minivan with space for people and then a little jacuzzi. Just having some fun. The EQV has a single electric motor on the front axle with an output of 201 horsepower and is electronically limited to a speed of 99 miles an hour. I wouldn't go faster in a van like that. You would corner and the van would flip over. Not pleasant. Not pleasant at all. But at least this van has a 260-mile range. Not super crazy, but good enough for most people. But if you need more, it will recharge from 10% all the way to 80% in just 45 minutes. That's crazy fast. But it would be just the time to grab a quick lunch or something. And this year, we got something that I really like. Mercedes launched the EQA. The EQA is an electric version of the second generation GLA crossover SUV. The first model, the EQA 250, has one electric motor of 190 horsepower and a range of 300 miles. We finally get to the AMG Destroyer, the top-ranging electric sedan produced by Mercedes. Will this electric platform destroy, or even worse, become AMG? Only time will tell, but let me know in the comments what you think about it. The EQS, as you may know, the S-Class, is the top of the line, the most luxurious class you can get from the German automaker. You might be wondering, with all this pandemic thing, how did they actually release it and how did they show it to the media? Well, you are right by thinking it was through the internet, but you might be thinking of YouTube videos or blog posts. They did that, don't get me wrong, but the coolest thing about the launch was that you could get a virtual shotgun ride in the upcoming Mercedes-Benz EQS. A Zoom test drive? Not quite, but close. You could follow along through a half dozen different perspectives, chatting with the engineer for a very different experience. Less engaging? Sure, but you wouldn't need to be there in the flesh to see just how impressive the EQS actually is. I'm glad they lived up to the S-Class name. I mean, this is the top-of-the-line Mercedes. EQS is not a replacement. It must be held to the same standards. Kind of like the new Civics. You will always expect them to be a really, really, really good lawnmower. Yeah, you heard me right. After the video, just Google Honda Civic lawnmower and then press images, and you will see what I mean. Getting back to the big boy cars, the EQS packs a 107.8 kilowatt-hour battery pack, almost 10% bigger than Tesla's. Is this the real Tesla killer? Dun dun dun! This battery increase translates into a 480-mile range. That great range isn't just because of the battery. Mercedes were able to have a 0.2 drag coefficient, making the EQS the most aerodynamic production car on the planet. On the planet. Aliens have much better drag coefficient. The best drivetrain option is to have 2 electric motors. That combined have 516 quick ponies. Thankfully, the car is super isolated, as it should be because it is an S-Class. But if you want to feel like you are in an alien spaceship, Mercedes has got you covered. They offer something called Sound Worlds, with tones for acceleration, regen, and startup. In my opinion, that is just some useless gimmicks, but that's just me. I bet racers would love that, but guess what? They can't afford an S-Class because it is expected to be priced around $80,000 to $100,000. You can definitely see that price tag in the interior. For me, it's the best car interior I have ever seen. It is really cool. The coolest screen ever made is called the Mercedes 56-inch Hyperscreen OLED, and it dominates the scene and is flanked by 15 speakers from Burmester. The dashboard is actually three freaking curved displays, all unified under glass to give both driver and passenger their own interfaces. Because it would be cool if you couldn't interact with them, now the passenger is really the designated DJ because you can have the radio control system right in front of you. See there, racers? You don't need to have 3 iPads glued into your dashboard to look cool. Mercedes does it better. When parking the car, you can see your own car in third person like you're driving a car in Forza. But it's your car, rendered in real time via Teutonic digital sorcery. 10 years ago, Mercedes didn't take Tesla seriously. Should have been more worried than it was, and now, Tesla should be worried. One good thing about the EQS is that it is the starting platform for multiple vehicles. The chassis and the batteries will be able to be used in future cars. We are already looking forward to some SUVs and some cheaper sedan options as well. We haven't seen much of the EQS's outside because of the camouflage, but we hope it surprises us. Until then, we can hope for more and more brands to approach the EV market to give Tesla real competition, as we see that we, the consumer, will benefit a lot. Better cars at a cheaper price point. Let us know what is the next EV you are looking forward to. Thank you so much for watching, and as usual, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See ya!